My next guest is a Chicago-born Italian-American mandolinist and multi-instrumentalist who explores folk and dance traditions of Southern Italy. Stay tuned for this exciting episode. Ciao, I'm Anna Harsh, professional dancer, author, and host of the Dance Floor podcast, the podcast that offers you advice, tips, and unique ways to find those life lessons that improve our lives. So grab your dance shoes and join me on the dance floor. Welcome back, everyone, to the dance floor. I'm your host, Anna Harsh, and today I have an amazing guest with me, Connor Marks, Chicago-born, I hear, and Italian-American. So, Connor, welcome to the dance floor.
Hello, Anna. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be on your podcast, and it was a pleasure playing some fiery tarantellas with you the other week in North Carolina.
I know we had such a good time at the Festa Italiana. So shout out to them and the festival down there for their hard work. I thought that was amazing. And for you guys to just jump on stage and improv with us for my Tarantella lesson, I thought that was really amazing. It was so cool to have live musicians. It's always fun to feel that energy. You know, recorded music is okay, but really live music is where it's at for dancers, for sure. How was it for your point of view playing for us?
Oh, I mean, it was something I've always wanted to do was play for a dance, specifically like Italian traditional Southern Italian dance. I've had a lot of experiences now when I perform that there's sometimes like an older couple that like knows some variation of the tarantella where they'll hear my music and they'll start dancing with each other, but it's usually just me on the mandolin. But for that event, fortunately, I was with the Oak Street Serenaders and we had our little pickup band. But I actually hopped on my Maranzano, which if you don't know what it is, it sounds like this.
Yeah, that's
Mouth
like a
harp.
mouth harp, right? A
Yeah,
mouth harp?
yeah, they call it jaw harp,
Jaw harp, right.
Jews harp, mouth harp. In the medieval ages, they called it the trump, not to be mistaken with our current president, I think, something like that. And
And how did you come about that instrument? How did you find that?
it's an interesting instrument. A lot of people look at it like a toy or some sort of noisemaker, but it comes up in so many different cultures that I have this dictionary of musical instruments, and I'll tell you that I call it the jaw harp in a more vague term, mostly because it like resonates your teeth and your jaw, and it turns your mouth into a musical instrument with vowels. Yeah, I found this dictionary and it has so many names in so many different languages that it takes up like two full pages of this dictionary. So it's a very interesting instrument where it comes from, so many different cultures that it could have been that they never even had any sort of contact and like simultaneously invented this instrument because there's so many different materials that it could be made out of.
And for
So
those of us that are listening, can you describe maybe what it looks like? And you're playing it in your mouth, like you're holding it to your mouth. Yeah.
yeah. So it looks like this. I guess that's a sound. It's weird. You could like it has like these two. I guess it's almost like a horseshoe. I would describe
Okay.
it, but it like connects. It's like thinner towards the top, and there's these two like diamond shaped frames where your top and your bottom teeth go on the top and the bottom of the frame of the like I think mine's made of like steel or iron or some sort of metal. And then there's a reed that you flick and that causes like a vibration. Like if you don't have it in your mouth, it doesn't make any sound. So
Doesn't
it's
make any sound. It's so
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so
I've
you're
heard
the
it.
instrument.
It's a unique instrument, and I've heard it in a lot of different Sicilian songs as well
Yeah.
as other different Southern Italian songs in general. But like you said, this is probably used in many cultures, I would assume across.
Yeah. Well, I first thought of it as just some odd instrument, and I thought of it as a little challenge and something fun. But as I got more into like the Sicilian music and regional Italian folk music. It comes up quite frequently. I think it's more historically placed in Sicilian music. It's called the Maranzano, and it has a very distinctive style playing it. I'd say distinct to any other style in the world, really, of playing it, where it's used in this 6/8 pattern. So learning it was pretty interesting. It wasn't easy to learn the style because I never like practiced my breathing with a metronome, but I started
Mm.
very slowly and I was like getting so lightheaded and then I because it's
Yeah,
like you have to breathe in 6/8, so it's it's like a jig, like fiddly diddly fiddly diddly, or like chickadee dickadee chickadee, or some sort of thing like that. But you have to do that with your breathing. So that's the cool thing because it goes with this style of music, like the tarantella and these different dances that it goes in that rhythm.
wow. For modern dance, I've choreographed several modern pieces that we didn't use music at all, and we used our breath in different rhythms or timing to stay together in sync. And so
Yeah,
they would be an inhale and an exhale at the same time. And it, like you said, it might be in a 6/8 or it might be 4/4. So that's really interesting that you have to really challenge your breath and change your breath timing or rhythm
yeah.
to be able to play the instrument. That's interesting.
Yes, and I would say it's one of the world's most dangerous instruments because it's like if you're not careful with what you're doing, you could break your teeth.
Oh, for
And
sure.
I've
I
met
can
people
see
who
that.
are like, I was drunk one night when I was a kid, and the next thing I knew, I woke up with a broken tooth, and I was playing my Jew's harp and like, see my tooth? Like
Right.
I'm 75 now, but I was 15 when I did this. I was
Right,
like,
right. I could see those stories happening for real.
yeah, so you
Um,
have to be careful.
Connor, tell the listeners how many other instruments that you play. I know you play mandolin, guitar.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm a bit of a collector, but I finally feel like I found my my core group of instruments lately, which is I've mostly been playing and performing my Neapolitan mandolin. So it's a mandolin that comes originally from Naples and it has this like distinctive bowl back feature to it with these curved wooden edges, and usually there's some like ornamental soundboard. It's tuned the same as a violin, but it has double strings and it has frets like a guitar would, and you use a pick like a plectrum to hit the strings. So it's like a violin and a guitar had a baby.
Uh-huh. For
So
sure.
yeah, so
I
that's
got a chance to see them made in Naples, and it's amazing to watch it being carved
oh
and
my
come to
gosh, yeah.
life. Yeah. So that's really interesting that not only to see it come to life, but then to hear it is really a treat. And you guys playing, like I said, for the Tarantella workshops that we did was amazing because we got a chance to feel the energy and the rhythms from the
Yeah.
music. And I think that really that collaboration is rare. And I really appreciated everybody jumping on board. And I think our band sort of grew the
Yeah.
second workshop we had. We had 7 or 9 people on stage. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's something I think all of us we don't get a lot of, and being so in different regions of America and stuff, and we find it finally just our stars lined up in the right place, and we were all there, so it was a lot of fun.
For sure. I think that's what we were talking about before the podcast, that we're collecting these superheroes or these friends along the way of our journey that we can collaborate with. And when the stars do align, we get a chance to jam together and, create something that I think the audience really felt as well, because so many people came up to me and said, wow, that was really amazing. They felt the energy and they had some fun. And it was about family and making connections and being with a community that we don't usually get to do. And so
Yeah.
that's very rare for sure.
Yeah, and totally. And I think that's like when I think about my journey of how I like first started playing music, it was always like with my best friend or like some local music shop that introduced me to a bunch of people. And that got me so far to where I'm like I was able to like learn all this different music on like these different instruments and picked up guitar. And then, guitar is like if you can learn the basic chords on a guitar, you could play so many different, styles of music from around the world. And I think learning a few guitar chords, you could learn a lot of repertoire of the Italian folk dance music. And, it opens up doors to make it possible to play all this type of music. But, you have to sort of situate yourself in a place where to have other people involved is like another thing you need to build. So that's kind of my mission now is to build a community of interested and passionate people who I can play this music with. And
Same here, Connor. Same here. Like we're living the same life. I believe in that power of community. And I think when we find people like that, that want to be on your mission and want to complete, your jam session, and complete those community members that we're trying to build, I think that really is amazing. So tell us a little bit, did you go to college for music or how did you get into music in general? What was your inspiration?
I had I still have a cooler older brother who, he played the drums. And also we got our drum set from my uncle who like was giving it to us for a long time. And I started banging around on the drum set when I was a kid, like 8 years old. I learned how to play Back in Black on the drums, and from there I just let it rip and learned how to play drums. Then I remember my brother had some bands, so they would like drop their instruments off. And when they weren't there, I would like plug in their guitars and their basses and I would like mess around with them, but I had no clue what I was doing. And eventually I just started picking up instruments. Like I learned bass guitar. There was one sitting around in my house, so I learned that. And then I learned electric guitar, acoustic guitar. Then started learning mandolin. And I don't know, I'm really not phased by the, perfection of playing an instrument rather than, enjoying the challenge and enjoying the journey. And I don't really, and it kind of goes to show that like I took a lot of instruments that I thought like, oh, I'd never be any good, but I'm just messing around with it. I'm having fun. And now I'm like, okay, I'm actually like getting good. And like I play guitar and I'm like, yeah, now I'm like gigging around and like doing all these cool things, getting flown out places. So I'm like, this
Yeah,
is actually
I was gonna say like you're amazing at what you do and all the instruments that I saw you play at the festival and I know everybody was impressed. So yeah, I think that's what everybody's journey is like. Gosh, I'm just interested and want to be enjoying, my instrument or for me it was dance. I just grew up with
Mhm.
dance and then took some classes at a studio and then went on to college for it and then now it sort of found me in this journey of touring and gigging, like you said, flying to different places to perform. And it's a crazy ride. But
Yeah.
so in this ride, when you are younger and you are just taking your art step by step, and you're practicing, you not maybe aren't sure if you're going to do anything further with it. But for those that are like in that beginning stages, what a piece of advice would you say to them that are, getting ready to maybe make that first gig or maybe their career is starting to take off? What advice do you think you should tell them?
I definitely think there is, getting yourself to play in different contexts is really important. Like, and it's something that I'm like enjoying still being on that path now and playing in different contexts because, I hear a lot from different musicians and I've definitely felt it before where, you could be practicing and practicing and practicing. And then when the time comes and you're actually gonna like, and say your ambition is to perform or to record or something like that, your own music, when the time comes, you're just not clicking with the atmosphere. So I think like honing in on these different situations you find yourself in and how you react and how to like conquer your sense of self in these different moments is super important because that was a constant like thing for me when I started playing music. It was like these tiny, tiny milestones and stepping stones of like, it's not supposed to come all at once. And whether you're like an extremely gifted musician and it's all coming super naturally, or you're just kind of like, faking your way through it, I think either way, like I honestly feel like there's so many situations as a musician that I like faked my way through a performance, not really knowing the part, not really knowing what's going on. But in a way, I got so good at doing that through experience that I stopped getting all these nerves. I stopped getting all this stuff, and I was able to just like chill myself out. And then like when I did practice with the band, I was able to like be in a better headspace, or like also know how to like get yourself out of little tangles, because there's stuff. And when you do start performing and getting yourself into different situations musically, you don't just stop the show when you hit a wrong note.
Right.
You
Keep
gotta
going.
fumble. You gotta fumble your way out. And I'm constantly, and a good friend of mine, like my best friend growing up, who taught me a lot about guitar and playing music, was always like, "Oh yeah, like when you're soloing, you just hit notes and you find if they sound bad or good, and like if they're right or if they're not right." And I mean, there's totally different ways to go about learning music, and I took a very unconventional route, and I'm self-taught. I learned by ear, but like that journey for me was just like, you find what works by yourself using your ear and like through trial and error. And I'm still on that path. And that's why I feel like learning any instrument is fun for me, because I'm just like, oh, that sounds terrible. But I'm like, I'm going to keep working on it
You
till it
got to
sounds
keep
the way
working on
I
it.
want, you know?
Absolutely. It's the same for dancers. You put yourself in different situations. Sometimes you're a soloist. Sometimes we're dancing with company members. Sometimes you're in really strange places performing. Like sometimes we're on a street. Sometimes we're on a professional stage. And sometimes we're in a theater, but you can't let that throw how you perform. You have to
Yeah.
experience all those different ways of performance, and you're going to perform with people that maybe aren't the best, and then you're going to perform with people that are top notch and on their game. So you have to be prepared for all of those scenarios. And I'm with you, like just keep practicing. We always say keep moving forward on the dance floor because you can't stop. In a dance class, you get to the second part of a dance class and where we do locomotor movements, where we travel across the floor. And the rule is don't stop, because the person behind you is about to take off and do their combination. So you got to keep moving forward, even if you hit that wrong turn or, like you said, hitting a wrong note. You got just keep moving forward. So that's really great advice.
Yeah.
It's
Keep your
hard.
foot tapping.
Keep tapping it through.
Yeah.
Connor, tell us about your new project called Tarantella Time.
Oh, well, thanks for bringing it up, because I'm like, I've been formulating this project for a while, and now it feels like I'm finally like, I just came up with a name. I had like a gig, and it was at a time when I wasn't really like coming out with playing this traditional Italian mandolin music. So I just kind of was like, oh, I have a gig at a small festival. What should I name my project? And I was like, Tarantella Time. And then it just ended up like always staying in my head. And I've been going like solo just by my name and whatnot. But now I'm like,
I love it.
I'm trying to cultivate some sort of community approach to joining the festivities, because it's not something that I completely have, established a band to join me. And I'm like trying out different ways in which I perform. A lot of times I've been doing like strolling mandolin and just plugging in and playing solo mandolin, or playing, I'm starting to like explore looping, where I like play my guitar part and then I play mandolin over it, or I play with an accompanist who plays guitar and then I play mandolin. But for me, I like to play all these instruments, and I like to like show off and just like have fun playing.
One man band. I love it.
Yeah.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. And I
Yeah.
love Tarantella Time. I'm game. Whenever you're playing, like I'll be the dancer that's showing the Tarantella. Whatever
Yeah.
you need. I think more people will join you, and I think we'll keep collaborating and add people, our superheroes to our group that will join us across the country. I know that that'll happen for sure, because it's infectious and we're creating community along the way. And I think that's what everybody's craving. We just want to be together and have some fun and learn something
Yeah,
new.
totally. Yeah, I'm almost thinking of like making it feel almost more like a club that you could just like go attend, and like I'll make a pot of food, and like people could dance and like hang out and like just have a
Yeah.
good time and like be festive and let loose a little bit. And I think that's kind of my my aim. It's kind of fun because it's like a more ambiguous project. like I don't really know where it's going to go, but I feel like I'm just shaping it in a way where it could go a lot of places and I could like mold
I
it.
think it'll go some places, Connor. Listen, when I first started Allegro, the reason why I named it Allegro is because that was the tempo of the tarantellas we were dancing to. And so it stuck because I didn't have a name. It was just like, Anna and her dancers. Like you said, I just used my name. And so we named it Allegro Dance Company and it kind of stuck. So here we are, touring the country. Like this year was kind of a little bit out of control. It was 26 cities,
Oh my gosh.
6 states, and we're exhausted.
Nice. You're killing
But
the game.
we're killing the game here, but it's been fun to learn along the way and meet so many amazing people like yourself that are so super talented and that we really enjoyed meeting and collaborating with and can't wait to bring you back in our circle so we can dance while you play or maybe, you can dance while we play. I don't know. Maybe we'll trade.
Yeah, I'm into it. I want to learn everything, but I need some people around to do that. So, I know I'm going to go out on some journey to Italy eventually. I know it's calling me, but it can't come soon enough. So I can't wait anymore. I just got to
I
start
agree.
learning and researching and just have that discipline. And I've been doing it now and it's been fulfilling. I definitely, I've gone through so many different like musical adventures and learned like, listen to research like a lot of different music cultures, but I have my mom's heritage is like Calabrese, like yours, and I think I started to have like an affinity or like playing all these different musics, but I found myself having a little extra developing an addiction for this tarantella music and especially the way it sounds on the mandolin because I just love like twangy instruments and I think this old mandolin and playing these old cool like fast melodies just
I
really
get
excites
it. I get it. Both of my grandfathers played mandolin,
me.
and I wish I would have picked up the instrument. I wasn't old enough at the time to enjoy them, playing them. But as soon as you picked it up and
Never
played it,
too
I was
late.
like, yes, it
Never too
resonates
late.
with me.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it's too late to learn.
Absolutely. Like I'm with you. Start that band. I'm on tambourine castanets. I got you. Like we'll do this. Connor, what's
Maybe.
next for you? Where are you going to next? I mean, are you gigging again recently? Are you doing anything for the holidays? Or are you waiting till next year and then more gigs will happen?
I'm looking forward to starting to reach out to some more venues and network a bit more and just see where that gets me in the short future and maybe line some stuff up. I potentially have a few gigs in DC, Maryland, Virginia area, DMV. Yeah, I had played at a festival in DC a few weekends ago and got connected with quite a few organizations, and I feel like it was a good lead for me.
Nice.
And yeah, another thing, sometimes for like up and coming musicians, people like starting to perform, like just sometimes gigs work out in ways that you don't really anticipate, and it's important to keep that journey because the journey never really ends.
The journey will never end. Trust
Yeah,
me.
you just
I
keep
started my
on
company off of one gig, thinking that was going to fulfill my college thesis project and graduate with my degree in dance. Well, we are 32 years into this one gig.
That's awesome.
so I can definitely help you out, Connor. I can't wait. And so tell everybody, where can we keep in touch with you and watch your journey grow?
Yeah, so I have just started a link tree, but if you're on Instagram, you could find me at my first and last name with an I at the end. So that is Connor Marks I at supercool.mandolinplayer.hotmail. No, I'm just kidding. Just Connor Marks I on Instagram. You could find my new Facebook page I just started at Tarantella Time. You can email me at Tarantella Times with an S because someone had a very good idea to steal my email that I was going to take. But so I had to add an S. So
I
Tarantella
will
Times at
I will
gmail.com.
include all of those in the show notes so that people can connect with you and find you. And Connor, thank you so much for sharing your unique story and your cool instrument that you shared with us today. And
My
I'm sure
pleasure.
we'll be gigging on the road for real really soon. So
Yes.
come back
Yes.
anytime and share more updates on your Tarantella time because we are ready to dance with you for sure.
Yeah. I sense some big revival coming, you know. That's what we're doing.
It's coming. It's coming to a city near you. So look for Connor, look for myself and Allegra Dance Company, and come bring your dance shoes, right? And come on the dance floor and dance and play some instruments with us. I love it. Connor, thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna. Appreciate it.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm your host, Anna Harsh. And until next time, keep moving forward on the dance floor.